I start a game against a really good opponent, probably one of the best players I play against. And I'm just gonna create a video that's like clip by clip by clip where I show every single move against this player. And I'll show you how I play. Me and this opponent are about dead even. I think this opponent lacks a little defensively, but they make up for it with their offense. And so far, since we've been playing each other, we're almost neck to neck. I just have 2 more wins than her. And she averages more than me. Per move and per game. But I have more wins, and I think that's because I try to play optimal offense and optimal defense, and sometimes I feel like the defense could be a little better on her end, but I'm not knocking the player at all. She's really good. So here we go, first move of the game. When I start with a 10-letter move, a 10-letter point value, sometimes I get rid of it, sometimes I keep it. I'm gonna keep the S for sure. Definitely gonna swap. I mean, I can't even do anything if I wanted to, but I almost always swap the first move of the game. I could keep both L's. Let's say if you're gonna keep one L, you may as well keep both. Do I get rid of the J? Do I keep it? Against a player like this, I have to be mindful of the fact that any big letters I get, it's best for me to use them, so I don't have to worry about her using them. So I might just hang on to it for that point, for that purpose. Here I'm already thinking about a word like jellies or something, right? But I don't think a E, I are coming for me. But you never know. Certainly would like at least one E. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do this swap. And looks like we just have what, Jill? Yeah. That's acceptable. Let's see what we get from her end, and I'll take another clip. Thanks.
This is the second move against that I'm attempting to do in this game. I did notice that if my opponent had put an E out there, I would be able to use all my letters and do jolliest. At least I believe that's a word, or that's how it's spelled anyway. But I can't do that. They did not put an E down. And this is not a very defensive-minded move that my opponent did. Really didn't accomplish many things. They only scored 14 points. They used an S. They did get rid of 2 A's, which may have served to be a partial swap or something like that. I'm not really sure. But I had a tip video about this earlier. This is something that I try not to do. Sometimes you can't avoid it, of course, but when you rub a vowel against a double letter, you give your opponent an easy starting place to go. And so I have plenty of options already. And, you know, I don't know every 3-letter combo off the top of my head. But I do know many of them. Now, if I had an A, if I had T-A-J, I'd much rather go right here. Which is also in my other video, because it's more of a defensive play. Whereas if I put my O or my I here, I'm leaving an opportunity on the triple letter. I don't think a letter goes above J-A. So my opponent can't go left and hit the double word. But they will be able to go right and score points. So I was thinking about this, seeing that this is a move and this is a move, which one's better? And I think it's the T, because I don't think ATA is a word. I know ETA is a word. I'm sorry, not the T, but the L. I think ALA is a word, but I don't think ELA or OLA is a word. I can test OLA. ILA. Let's see. ELA. ELA is not a word. And then pretty sure they take ALA. Yes, they do. But the reason I like that so much is because, you know, my opponent opened with the move, not with a swap. Now, it could be that they just had a bunch of A's and they found a way to get rid of 2 of them. Or it could be that that was their only 2 A's. But the only way, since they can't go left, I believe the only way they could go right in this situation is if they had an A. And since they just used 2 A's, you know, mathematically speaking, there's not a lot of A's remaining. Now, I don't have an A, so I'm not, you know, literally setting myself up for that possibility. And of course, if they have an M or an R or some other letters, they're just going to go right here where this double letter is. So they still have other possibilities, and I think also JOLE is a word, so they can hit the double word and connect this as well. So, you know, there's going to be still plenty of opportunities to score points. I think JITE is a word as well. But, you know, I can't be overly concerned about all these things. You know, I'm scoring 50 points, and that's going to be good enough for me, so. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. And I got quilts and jolt. So I don't know where my opponent will go. But that's 48 more points right there. So we'll see, and I will continue this video. Thank you. You can see my opponent did I. And I can save my S and maybe have something over here. I'm not really sure what it is yet, but I think for now I need to go up here and, you know, score 48 points. See what letters I get. I wish I got an E. Not the greatest letters. But that is definitely a word. I have ribs. It's kind of scary because definitely a D and a C, and probably some other letters will go to the left of that, so not so sure I'm in love with that move. And up here, I have obviously some potential. 29, but that is also a very poorly thought out move. I have this, but I never got an A, so I can't go BAL, etc. right there. And I can't go down here either, so not a lot of places for me to go that I'm in love with, but we'll see what my opponent does, and I will continue this video once more. Okay, so move number 3 against this opponent. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is one of the best players I play, and it's just kind of sloppy. Like, she just set me up again. And if she watches these videos, which really nobody does, so pretty much no chance she would, but I feel like every time I play this particular player, I feel like I should always lose. I feel like they're a better player than me. Like, they're more explosive than me. And I don't feel that way very often. But this is why I have a slight edge on her, is because she sets me up. I went ahead and watched a couple extra commercials because I foresaw the opportunity to do a swap plus here. And I'm not, and I tend to use them too often, but I usually film it when I use it because I just want to show people the situations that I will contemplate them. And so yeah, I'm going to use one here, I think. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to, because this is one of the hardest players I play against, and you know, I never feel safe. I mean, look, I've gone twice in this game. Let me set my letters apart a little better. Ooh, lime green. What's that look like? Nah, I don't like that.
Let's see, let's go with let's do this plum purple. Okay, I've only gone twice in this move. In this game, I'm averaging almost 50 a move, 49 to be exact. I don't even... My best play is something... I don't know what it is. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna try and keep it a little more short. This is my best play, but that is not a smart move. I would be setting the board up way too much. So instead, I'm gonna use a swap plus here, and I've been thinking, should I get rid of one I or both? Definitely can get rid of both of these R's. I'm going to keep the H because there's a good chance I'm just going to be doing a 4-letter move that ends in H. Got to keep the S. Have to keep the B. So I think I'm just going to get rid of 2 R's and an I. Wow, that did not work out too well. But I got an, you know... Oh, don't know what just happened there, but... So I can do both or Bath, but just to keep my vowels from being too repetitive, I'm going to just use the A instead. So I have an O, an A, and an I instead of an AAI. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I like having only one A at a time. Much more so would prefer to have an E. E's are the best vowels. Now, let me just show you. I can also go here. And so I'm going to save one of my A's for this spot. Obviously, I'm using the B now, so I would hope that I get something. The only reason this isn't a perfect move is because I'm not... Okay. All right, well, I retract my statement. So I have something just slightly a little better, but I'm not going to worry about what it is. This is good enough. There's a couple good spots to go here on the board still, but you know, 45 is a strong move, and I will take that all day. So I didn't get good letters, and I got another A, which I'm upset about. But let's see. Looks like I could do that. I have a big move. I must be able to use all my letters. I have a word that could end in T-I-O-N. I just don't think it's that because I have 2 A's and they have to go somewhere. So they're probably going to be apart from one another. Huh. Well, what in the world do I have? Not even close. What do I have here? I can use all my letters. Surprisingly. I don't suspect I'm going to find this one. And I don't want this video to be super long. I don't think I'm going to find it. And that's okay. You know, I have a couple 30-point opportunities. I should be able to get at least 30-point move my next move, and I think that'll be good enough. And I have 5 points. I can use the hindsight and see what it is I'm not seeing, but it's probably going to be some obscure word, and
And I'm just not going to worry about it. I think that whatever it is, it's just not for me to find. So I'm going to stop it here, and we will proceed with move number 4 in just a little bit. Okay, so I'm back with the next move. It looks like my opponent scored 27. And as expected, you know, it's really hard to create separation from this player no matter how much I'm scoring. So I think that, you know, I had a big move. I don't know what it is. Looks like that move even just got bigger. I don't know what it is though. I'm not going to, you know, I can find a lot of moves. I'm pretty good at it, but I don't know what this one is. I really don't know. And, you know, I'm just gonna have to score what I can. And this is the best move I see. To do this move, I think I leave open some possibilities on the left side of this. Now, does anything go in front of TANS? I don't know, if I'm being honest. Honestly, none of these letters do. Does S or E or possibly... I could maybe see an S going there. But aside from that, I really can't think of anything in particular. I just don't know. You know, a lot of words end in TION, but the problem is I have 2 A's. And so a lot of words with 2 A's start, a lot of the words that have 2 A's in them start with an A. And is there any way I could figure this out? I really don't know. I'm not so sure, to be honest. I can put an S there and do that. An A goes there, so I could take Santa. No, because that's a proper noun. But they do take this apparently. And maybe this is the best way to go because it's more of a defensive-minded play. So I'm going to do that. And I still don't have an E. The E's are not liking me this game. I haven't had one yet. It's just starting to irritate me. I've built up a decent lead. Obviously, they're going to, you know, she's probably going to score 30, 40 points the next move. But I'm building up a little bit of a lead. And I almost have traction. I just got rid of that N and I put it in a spot where I can't play off it. So can't do traction. Almost have tractor. But it looks like I'm still looking to try and use all my letters for that very first time. But yeah, I'm doing play-by-play an entire game against pretty much one of the best players I play against. And, you know, I will do similar videos like this, and I hope you like the content. Thank you. So this is a continuation of this game. I went ahead and just kind of went through a few moves without commentary, just so this video wouldn't be too long. I think the most noteworthy thing I did was when I played Motoric, and I started with the word motor, and then I realized I probably could add an IC to it. And that was just a way of kind of accomplishing a small swap within a move. Whenever you can put letters down innocuously, some excess letters that you really don't need or want, it kind of serves as like a swap without taking the hit of taking the swap. You do take a hit when you take a swap a lot of times because you're not going to score any points. You forfeit your move. So it's always best to score points when you can, and sometimes you can accomplish scoring points and getting rid of the letters you don't like all at once, and that's what I did there. And the main reason of that move was because I did not have an E. EMO is a word, and when you're playing really good players, if you leave opportunities like that for them to capitalize, you know, consider yourself, you know, consider yourself, playing a losing formula. Because if they put an E right there, even just a simple play like jive is like 50 points. So, they don't have to necessarily be able to use all their letters, in which case they'll probably be scoring 80, 90, 100 plus. When you're playing a really good player, you have to be thoughtful. You have to be very mindful of this possibility, because they will use all their letters, or they will score a lot of points with incredible ease if you leave opportunities like that open, and you don't want to do that. So EMO is a word, and that's kind of why that was kind of a way of me playing defense and not swapping. I did Motoric because it accomplished a lot of things at once, and then the other moves were just kind of like, the most optimal moves I could find. But here we are, and I kind of expected this. The game is tightening. I didn't get any opportunities to really extend my lead. Just kind of been trying to hang on to it. And the game is starting to get tight, and I don't want to lose it. And I have a move here, and I don't know what it is. I have no idea at all. I could go for the word radar and try and see where this move might be. I'm probably not going to do that. But I was thinking that the word could just be right here. It could be just, sometimes what you do is you anticipate that because you have a big move that it has to be really, really big. And so I can see quite clearly I have a big move. But maybe it's not the 50-point variety move or 60 or 70-point variety move that it looks like it could be. This could just be like a 30 or 40-point move. And I do have, now when I look at my letters, the word that comes to mind is plainest. If only there were an S somewhere, I could do plainest, and I could use all my letters just like that. But I have an ing opportunity, and it won't be all my letters. I could use all my letters. I have pleating, but I can't fit that in. So I have to kind of downsize my expectations, and are any of these combinations gonna work? Yeah, I found one that works already. And apparently I have a move that's just a little bit bigger than that. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to worry about it. This is not a move I'm crazy about either, because of this. Do I really want to give this opponent an opportunity to nail this spot right here? I'm not so sure. Let's look at the remaining letters in this game. We still got a lot of game left. There's still 32 letters in this game. So let's look at the tile bag. Do any letters jump out at me? What letter do I not want to see in this situation? I don't really want to see a Q, and the Q's already been used. I don't want to see a Z, and the Z is there too. So here, let me show you what can happen when you do a move like this against a really good player. Something very simple like this. And look, and this is very possible because look at the letters left. There's plenty of I's, plenty of A's, plenty of R's, and plenty of blanks which is probably the most concerning thing. And there is still also ing potential. The I, there's I's, there's N's, there's G's, there's blanks, there's Z's, there's S's, there's even ERS available. I mean, talk about a million different ways that you could be setting your opponent up for a monster play right there. So do I really want to score 42 points? If I scored 42 points, I would have 297. They have 227. And my lead would be, what, 65. So do I really want, or is my math wrong there? My lead would be 270, 257, 297. My lead would be 70, sorry. 297 minus 227. So my lead would be 70 points. Do I really want to give them a potential 100-point move? And really the only part of this analysis that you have to worry about is whether they have the Z or not. And you can see that there are 32 letters left and a Z. And your opponent has 7 letters of the 32. So your opponent has about a 25% chance of having the Z in their hand. Maybe a little under 25%. About a 25% chance that they have a Z already. And if they don't have a Z, this kind of a player is good enough to look and see that there is a Z, and they might swap for it. So you might be up against an in-game swap, and it's probably safe to assume that you will be. So now that I break it down, I don't really know if I want to do this move. And one of the weaknesses of this player is that they're bad at just setting people up, without a good reason. So am I smarter just to do something like this and just bide my time? Here, I don't want to really use the E in this situation. But am I smart to just play a defensive play and just not give my opponent something so easy? Because what's the trade-off? The trade-off is, here's what can happen. I go here, they go there, and then I go here, and then they go there. That's what's going to happen. And who gets the better of that situation? I get this and this, they get this, and potentially something massive going this way. Something enormous. So basically, the way you break it down is I give them huge potential here and huge potential here, and I have 42 points here and minimal potential here. So who's going to get the better end of this situation? They are. And you want to stay one step ahead of your opponents. So this is a situation where I can't take 42 points right here. I don't think it's worth it. Against this player with this score under these circumstances, I don't like it. I just don't. And this is taking defense to the absolute extreme. And I get that. Because 42 points is 42 points, but I'm just not in love with it. And I wish that it was a little easier for me to do a 4-letter combo here, but it's not because, I can't put 3 vowels in a row right there. And that's fine. So I just have to deal with that. And I don't want this video to go forever, but those are my thoughts, and I'm not going to do it because my opponent is so bad at setting people up, needlessly so, that I don't have to do it. I don't have to worry about it. They're just going to, that's who they are. That's what they do. So I'm just going to let them do what they do, and here I got, how many points can I score right over here in the corner? 17, fine, whatever. I'm going to take it. And look, I got ing now myself. So this is not, I don't know if I can use my letters necessarily, but if they do anything right here to open the board up, all I need is 6 more tokens for an in-game swap, and everything, the whole complexion of this game just changed because I didn't get greedy, and because now they're in a situation where if they want to score any points, they got to open the floodgates up for me, and I'm going to be in a pretty good position. And so we'll just see what happens, and we'll continue this video. So thank you for watching. So it looks like my opponent is exercising a bit of patience, and I'm pretty confident that, you know, if I test their patience enough, they will make the first mistake. Even though I think that they're catching on to the fact that I'm being overly defensive right now, which might make them a little more defensive. But I've thought that against this opponent before, and I was surprised. You know, and they were able to score 25 points without really doing very much. So they had a good move there. And I really want to keep my ing together. I don't think I can use all my letters quite yet. I would maybe forego my plans if I could use all my letters, but I don't think I can. So not using that letter, just getting a sense of what I have. And I don't think I have very much here. No, I don't have much at all. Yeah, I'm really contemplating doing a swap here. If I do a swap, maybe they will set the board up for me. What could I swap? If I swap one letter, then it looks like I'm going for something big. So I could swap like maybe 2 letters, but then it still looks like so I don't think it's gonna work. I'm gonna give my opponent more credit than that. So what do I want to do here? How many S's are left in this game? 2. And 2 blanks as well. Wow. I would really like one of those blanks. That's why I would love to use all my letters right now. I probably would get a blank, which means I could probably use all my letters a second time before the game was over. That'd be nice. But I cannot do it quite yet. I hate to use an E, but and a lot of words start with IN, and I'm also setting up the triple letter to be exploited. I don't know. I don't like that play. I don't like anything on this board right now. Yikes. Yikes. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what is the smartest play. That would be a horrible decision. Wow. I don't know what I should do in this spot. Well, wow, my letters just don't fit well on this board. I don't think many letters do, to be honest. I really don't. Maybe I should just swap 2 letters because it's just so bad. I can get rid of this excess N and the L, and we'll see what happens. Got the U, which is not good, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm back, and it looks like my patience has maybe paid off some. My opponent did open the board. I'm not finding... I'm not sure if I can find my biggest potential play. I've seen this, and then I also guess I think I have Genius, which is a little bit less. I have something a little better, but I don't know what it is at the moment. And I have to also take into account that I'm going to be opening the board up if I, because I set up potential here, and I also set up potential here. So the board will be considerably open now. Let's see what letters are left. So the Z, 2 blanks are probably the most notable. So I definitely don't want to give my opponent a chance to put a Z right there and go down and hit the double word, because that would really mess me up. For that reason, at this particular moment, I'm kind of preferring this move. The fact that there are 2 blanks left and a Z means my opponent could very easily have a blank, one of those blanks. I think overall this is mission accomplished because my opponent was the first one to open the board up, but it's going to be open for several moves to come at this point. Not many words and I really can't think of any words that go NZ. So I think I like this move better, and ZI is not a word. They can't go 2 ways with the Z right there. So I need to be incredibly mindful of the fact that my opponent has about a 30% chance of having a Z. So I could do a swap and try to use on my letters, or try to hit this spot a little better. The question is, what do I get rid of? Because right now the only way I can go this way is the U. So they did a good job of limiting my options right here. Now it would be better if I had an O. And I think that's not a word. GRAG is not a word. So my opponent did, it wasn't like, it wasn't like they set me up big time, but, definitely opened the board up first. And just, I don't have Unites as well, which is better than using. Ooh, I actually like that, because I saved the S. Now, words do end in TZ, though. Words do end in TZ. Let's see. Only 2 I's left in the game. Only 1 U. UTZ, ITZ are combinations I'm concerned about. Only 2 I's and a Z. My opponent could very easily have an IZ in their hand. Plenty of D's and R's left, so Ritz, Dits are the obvious candidates right there, where my opponent would score, close to 50 points. Well, maybe I'll do this and save the E. I'll just do this and save the E. I don't really want to keep I don't really love G's unless I have two of them or unless I have ing potential. I'm not super in love with G's. So I actually think I like this move better. And that eliminates that whole ITZ possibility. Would like to know what my bigger move is, but there's a chance that I can use on my letters, but I'm not so sure. And if I were going to do an in-game swap, I think I would have to get rid of the T. Don't want to get rid of the E. Don't want to break up the ing. Definitely want to keep the S, and have to keep the U. So I'm not loving an in-game swap here. I think it's kind of wasteful. So I'm just gonna play this, and we'll see what happens, I guess. Didn't pick up any vowels, which I don't like. I can use my in-game swap on this play after I see what they do, maybe. But and my lead has shrunk down. It's back to 37. But look, right now we're just trying to get to the finish line, right? I want to win this game. You know, winning is never easy against this opponent. So I just want to get to that finish line, and so if you can, if you can extend the game that long, I am very bothered at the fact that there are two blanks and I can't get one, and there's also a Z, so my opponent could be working on something enormous. There are no more G's in the game, so ing would only be a possibility if they have the blanks. They're going to use all their letters there. But I'm really concerned. I might do an in-game swap next move just because I want my hands on one of those blanks, or I could very easily lose this game. So my opponent should go faster. They stalled a lot before that last move, and we'll see what happens.
Well, as anticipated, my opponent found a way to put that Z on that double letter, even though I did everything I could to prevent it. And they did have as well an I, so the ITZ possibility would have been there, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. So now I'm losing in this game, and I've been really fighting to keep that lead of mine. I only have one vowel and I can't really do anything. So, because I do not have 20 tokens, I really need to do an in-game swap. I think that I will I think I'll get my hands on 4 more tokens, and then I will come back to this game. Well, it looks like my opponent found a way to get that NZ word off that I knew was, I guess, conceivable, but I didn't think it was that likely. But they did it, so not surprised either. And there's still 2 blanks out there, which is still concerning. If they pull that move off and preserve a blank, then I'm probably going to lose this game. I've gathered up 20 tokens, so I have to do a swap because I only have one vowel, and I need letters that are going to cooperate better than this. I think I'm going to keep that TERS together. Get rid of the D. Sometimes the D and S, if you're trying to use all your letters, the D and S kind of, they work well together in a lot of big moves, but it's always a little more difficult if you have them both. So what we need here is a good vowel or two and a nice consonant. Kind of want to keep the C, but I'd rather have a different one. I could possibly keep the G here, but I'm gonna get rid of all 3 of these, and we'll see what happens. Wow. Okay. I'm just definitely losing this game now. you know, the letters aren't going to cooperate. There's just not much I can do. So geez, not good. I can't go there. I just have to play defense, and I'm gonna have to use my only vowel here. And wow, no vowels, no blanks. Not looking good for me. Not at all.
So this is the conclusion of this game. I accidentally did not show one move I played, which was where I put an S, I think just right there. Right there. That move, I forgot to record that, so that'll be missing. And really the theory there was just I can't open the board up and give my opponent another chance to score a good move, because I'll have no chance of winning this game. And then my opponent went here, and I had a long debate in my mind as to whether to, you know, so I knew I showed the tile bag. I wasn't in a situation where I could really talk, but I wanted to get this game over with, win, lose, or draw. And I was between grift and drift and gift. I just went with gift because it was the most points. I also went with gift because I believe there were 5 letters left in the bag. And had I opted for a 4-letter move, then there's only 1 tile left in the bag. And then my concern is, you know, if I have any chance to win the game, and I leave 1 tile in the bag, then whatever my opponent does next, obviously, if they use quite a few letters, they're only going to get 1 back. So their odds of leaving the game soon go substantially up. But I also know that my best chance of winning the game is getting that remaining blank, finding the way to use all my letters. Can I use all my letters with 3 D's in my head? In my hand, rather. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy. But should I leave myself with 3 D's? Should I do D, G, E, which, you know, a lot of words have that. And if one of these D's were G, bridged comes to mind. Debridged, maybe, but I don't think. D, E, B, R, I, D, G, E, D. I think that's 1 too many letters. That is, it's a 9-letter word. So that doesn't necessarily work, but I think debridge, I mean, if I only have 2 D's, that is 2 D's. So I think debridge would have, you know, worked. The only reason this is possible, the only reason I even have any chance at all to using my letters is because my opponent created this spot with an extra, with a V, with the E right there at the end. Not the most thoughtful play. Also going here, not the most thoughtful play. And, you know, going here was not the most thoughtful play as well, back when they went right here and I was able to do using. And then, you know, I was down in this game after being up most of the beginning. So, I already know I can use all my letters. Well, I knew it initially because of the fact that, you know, I had a word like bitted, or excuse me, maybe butted, that was 26 points and barely doing anything. So I thought, okay, rebutted be a word, and I tried rebitted, and I tried a lot of different things, and it would have been a much longer video had I just continued to think it out the whole way through. But I found this, and I just put a D right there, and bang, it worked. And so that's game, set, match. And it was not pretty all the way through. I think at times I was maybe a little too defensive in the middle of the game. I think maybe I could have been a little more aggressive at times. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I found a winning move at the end. And so this final score will not really reflect how tight the game was most of the way through. And here I knew that I had to use all my letters. Like if I'd settled for I think I found one other 40 or 50 point move. I can't remember exactly what it was. But, you know, my opponent has CONY, and very conveniently, they would have been able to put it right there and end the game. So I knew I had no chance at seeing this game go an extra move. And not my most articulate video. I'm sleepy, but this game is finally over, and so I wanted to get this video out. So there's an entire game. I did miss the one move where I put the S there. I didn't give commentary for every move, but I tried to make up for that when I could. But, you know, with this, you have to know your opponents. And this opponent has a tendency to open the board up, and they did it there, and they did it there, and they did it again right here. Granted, they had to go right there for this particular play. They really didn't have an option. But, you know, I think that my opponent could have done a better job of being cognizant of what was out there, knowing that I very well had some D's and an E and a B and an R and probably a blank that I could conceivably use on my letters in that spot had they opened that play up. And maybe they could have done something a little bit differently. You know, if they played, for instance, Koi and you right there instead of Verger, and then let me go here where I cannot use all my letters because there's not room, and then they maybe end the game right there and they win. Most likely. I don't know for sure, but it's not a bad guess to say that the game could have ended that way. So these are all things to consider when you're playing a game, and I thought this was a good video. I got the win. I didn't think I was going to get it for a while. Probably part of the reason I missed that S move, because this wasn't as thrilled about the way this video was coming together, but this is the first time I tried it against a really good opponent, and I'm going to get the win, so that's really nice. I have another opponent I'm struggling against and I can't seem to win against, and I'm not getting good letters, and I might try a video with them next, trying to show videos against really good opponents. I'm going to show some videos against some rather average, maybe even below average players, and show you how a typical game goes against these individuals, so you know you can learn from this and become a better player. And so let's get this win. And feels good to win always, especially against a good player. And definitely give this individual a rematch. So hope you like this video. It took a long time to put together. My opponent was a little slow going against me at times, but I'm looking forward to posting this video, and hope you like it. Please like, share, subscribe, support the channel, and hopefully I'll be more articulate and more well rested for my next video. Thank you, and have a great day.